Let's get to the news. President Biden on Saturday played his first round of golf since becoming president, though he has picked up his driver a few times this year, but only to stop his dog Major from attacking a staff member. Get behind me! Everybody get behind me! That dog's got some Scranton in him. That's right, President Biden played his first round of golf since becoming president, which weirdly is what made it finally hit home for Trump. Oh my God, he is president now. All U.S. adults are now eligible for the coronavirus vaccine. Not so fast, Senator Kyrsten Sinema. They're probably going to card you if you keep dressing like a 3-episode character from Square Pegs. It's Bays with the Square Pegs ref. Long time. Yeah, keep them in darkness. The Pegs heads like to keep it anonymous. President Biden over the weekend attended the confirmation of his grandson, but then Mitch McConnell said it's too close to an election and put all confirmations on hold. Former President Trump released a statement yesterday praising President Biden's decision to withdraw U.S. forces from Afghanistan and called it, quote, a wonderful and positive thing to do, which makes a lot more sense when you find out he's joined the Taliban, allegedly. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy said recently that though Florida Representative Matt Gaetz is under federal investigation for sex trafficking, Gaetz will not be removed from committee and is, quote, innocent until proven, oh, really, on Venmo? Wow, just right out there? Still, I think we should wait. And that's him there? Oh, boy, you guys are making this tough. Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez today unveiled the Green New Deal for Public Housing Act, which should keep Fox News busy until Daniel Tiger comes out as gender non-binary. I think I mumbled it. It's Daniel Tiger.
Not Daniel.
So, you know, save the emails. I knew what it was. It's a flub. A flub is different than a mistake. Yesterday was National Transfer Money to Your Daughter's Account Day. This according to an increasingly suspicious calendar your daughter got you for Christmas. BTS Appreciation Day. A dozen of the top European soccer clubs announced over the weekend that they will leave the Champions League and form a new breakaway league. Fans said they were hurt by the move, but 10 seconds later, they were fine. It's a very niche observation about soccer injuries from Ian. NASA today successfully conducted its first controlled flight on another planet and then immediately flew it into their neighbor's yard. Federal regulators on Saturday issued an emergency safety warning for Peloton's Tread Plus treadmill. The warning reads, do not get this for your wife unless she explicitly asks for it. 2 intoxicated men in France recently injected hemorrhoid cream into their genitals, but they're still not sure about getting the COVID vaccine. I have read some things. There are some troubling data. Is there any more hemorrhoid cream? And finally, according to research, waking up to your favorite song can make you feel more alert and less groggy. It will also, in a week, make you hate your favorite song. President Biden tweeted yesterday that everyone 16 and older can now receive the coronavirus vaccine and added, quote, go get 'em, folks. Said teens, sure thing, just one question. What does folks mean? President Biden released a short video yesterday encouraging Americans to get the coronavirus vaccine. It wasn't supposed to be short. He just accidentally hit send.
For months, I've been telling America.
Son of a gun. Jail! According to reports, White House officials are currently working on a large spending plan centered on child care and paid family leave, not to be confused with the last administration, which was just a paid family. Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene announced over the weekend that she plans to introduce legislation that would expel Democratic Representative Maxine Waters from Congress. When asked if the move was in response to Waters' comments about protesters, Greene said, what comments? In a new interview, former Republican Representative Denver Riggleman said that Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene's proposed America First caucus is, quote, racism in a jar. So mayonnaise? MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell announced yesterday he is suing voting machine manufacturer Dominion for $1.6 billion, though he's just jealous because their voting machines are more comfortable to sleep on than his pillows. According to polls, Americans are more interested in trying edibles than any other type of cannabis product. Wow, America's the only country that starts with the munchies. Today was Lima Bean Respect Day. In that case, you taste like ass, good sir. To celebrate 420, the unofficial marijuana holiday, a New York City cannabis activist hosted a Joints for Jabs event today and gave anyone who had received the coronavirus vaccine free marijuana, which explains why so many New Yorkers just got their third dose of Pfizer. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is facing criticism after she gave a speech yesterday thanking George Floyd for, quote, sacrificing your life for justice. Wow, who'd have thought we'd prefer her moment of silence? That's right, Nancy Pelosi gave a speech thanking George Floyd for, quote, sacrificing your life for justice. You know, if you're an 81-year-old white person giving a speech about race, you can just follow this simple rule: don't. After former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin was found guilty yesterday, Fox News host Tucker Carlson claimed the jury was intimidated into the guilty verdict by the protests and the Black Lives Matter movement, which is frustrating for Carlson because he put a lot of work into intimidating that jury. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is reportedly considering a run for president in 2024. He thinks he might do well in the polls as long as none of the above doesn't run again. MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell celebrated the launch of his new social media platform, Frank, this week by holding a 48-hour live stream marathon. What? How's anybody supposed to stay awake for 48? Oh, right. MyPillow. Officials in Burlington, Vermont recently banned the use of gas-powered leaf blowers due to noise complaints. Said one resident, finally, for the first time in my life, I could speak with my normal voice. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis recently signed into law what he calls the, quote, strongest anti-rioting pro-law enforcement measure in the country. So maybe now your grandparents will think twice before butting in line for the early bird special. According to a recent report, the UK's fossil fuel industry may achieve net zero carbon emissions before it achieves gender equality. Either way, 2090 is shaping up to be a really exciting year. Netflix announced yesterday that it will spend $17 billion on content for 2021. Oh, honey, no. We're going outside now. And finally, Apple yesterday announced a new purple-colored iPhone. So, is that new enough for you? Happy? Are you greedy vultures ready to get an entirely new, but practically identical phone a year after you bought your last one? Because these guys can't keep reinventing the mother-loving wheel. They added the third lens, but you hated the third lens. Then they gave you a red-headed emoji, but then you all suddenly hated redheads. Fine, then guess what? You get a purple phone now. Boom, that's the new groundbreaking phone. So just give them $1,000, come pick up your dumb purple meme machines, and go back to your pathetic little lives. That was the actual press release. Today was Earth Day. Ah, yes, the place I'm totally from, said Mark Zuckerberg. That's right, today was Earth Day, even though I didn't plan it. So I didn't want to do that joke. And when I read it today, because the jokes are submitted with names on it, I saw that Ian wrote it. Then I did some digging, and Baze told me that Mike Scollins wrote it and put Ian's name on it. That's the kind of monster Mike Scollins is. That's his friend. He did that to his friend. Tanks for nothing. President Biden today announced a pledge to reduce U.S. greenhouse gas emissions by 50% by 2030. Added Biden, of course, that responsibility will ultimately fall to President The Rock. Teenage climate activist Greta Thunberg addressed a House subcommittee on environment today to discuss fossil fuel subsidies, though it wasn't encouraging that every time she said fossil fuel, Republicans did the wave. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio yesterday announced a $30 million ad campaign to get tourists back to the city. Oh, that's weird. I thought they were back already. When asked in a new interview about the prospect of actor Matthew McConaughey running for governor of Texas, former President George W. Bush said he did not know if McConaughey had a chance to win and added, quote, it's a tough business. Is it? I mean, you won twice. Russian President Vladimir Putin yesterday delivered his annual State of the Nation address, and as always, the State of the Nation was none of your business. You ask too many questions. Andrew Giuliani, the son of former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani, said yesterday that he is considering running for governor of New York to beat Andrew Cuomo. All right, that's it. Can the large adult sons of famous New Yorkers stop thinking they can just skip their way into politics? Because we all know the only dependable son in New York is P.C. Richards' son. Gotta. That's right. Said sound effects on the cards and I forgot. Let me tell you about what I got. 12,000 BTU Wallmaster AC unit installed same day in the dead of August. August, total lifesaver. Call him, ask for Frank, tell him Seth sent you. We'll give you 15% off. Now, what were we talking about? A new study suggests that the Pfizer and Moderna coronavirus vaccines pose no serious risks during pregnancy. The biggest risk during pregnancy still remains the gender reveal party. It was announced yesterday that the popular 90s toy Tamagotchi will return to stores this summer, which leads to even bigger news. There's still going to be stores this summer. You haven't won yet, Amazon. After sex doll company Real Doll unveiled a doll that can be programmed to say anything, one user posted a video online of a sex doll ranting about how despicable the human race is. And if anybody's in a position to know it, it's a sex doll. You people are disgusting. And finally, Taco Bell announced yesterday that it will partner with a company to begin recycling its hot sauce packets, and now the bad news, into meat. And that was the monologue.